People get ready, for the train is coming. Don't need no baggage, you just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesel humming. Don't need no ticket, you just thank the Lord. Welcome, listening audience and viewing audience, to the People Get Ready podcast with the legendary political guru, Mr. Charles E. Bibbs from Bibb's Record Shop. Welcome, everyone, to the star of the show, Mr. Charles E. Bibbs Sr. himself. Mr. Bibbs?
All right. Thank you, Reverend Ben Fair, for that awesome introduction. I'm looking forward to this evening because we're always going new, and we're going to go newer tonight. And get your pens and pencils, audience, because we're going to have a wealth of information for you coming from all directions. And as usual, we're going to start off with our superstar, is Miss Vivian Louise Sharp in the house. Miss Vivian Louise Sharp, are you in the house? All right. Well, if Miss Vivian Louise Sharp is not in the house, we'll move the agenda. We'll move the agenda right down to one of the biggest things that has happened in the history of the United States, Reverend.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
After many, many decades and many centuries, the Supreme Court of the United States of America, the glass ceiling has been double and triple broke. We have a brand new African-American Supreme Court justice. And Reverend Ben Fair, would you read to us in this entirety what the paper said about her being sworn in last week?
Yes, sir. It was, let's see.
All right, you just keep looking. And I love it because
I have it right here, Mr. Bibb.
All right.
Okay. Let's see, it says on.
Well, being fair and making sure they have the right 100% of the information. That's how we roll on this podcast. And we're going to give you 100% of the information. And Justice Jackson will be taking her seat when they come back in the fall. As soon as they go on their break, the one justice will be retiring, and she will be taking her seat on the Supreme Court. And she's been preparing for this all these years. An opportunity knocked, and she just walked right in the door. President Joe Biden nominated her, and the United States Supreme Court confirmed her, and the Senate confirmed her, and the justices swore her in, and the rest is history now.
Yes, sir.
So when you're ready, let me know, Ben Fair.
Okay.
You can read the news just like it came out.
The Supreme Court released its final merits opinion during the morning of June the 30th, 2022. At noon, Justice Breyer officially retired, and Jackson was sworn in, becoming the first Black woman and the first former federal public defender to serve on the Supreme Court.
All right, keep going.
Uh-huh.
All right.
Okay. In January of 2022, the New York Times reported that Jackson had not yet written a body of appeals court opinion expressing a legal philosophy because she had joined the U.S. Court of Appeals for the D.C. Circuit in the summer of 2021. However, the Times said Jackson's early rulings comport with those of a liberal-leaning judge, including her opinions blocking various Trump administrative actions. In addition, a review of over 500 of her judicial opinions indicated that she would likely be as liberal as Justice Stephen Breyer and Justice she replaced. According to the written report for NBC News, Jackson fit well with the Democratic Party and the progressive movement agenda during her relative youth background as a public defender and historical labor-friendly ruling. Let's give her some of her. It says Jackson is a member of the Judicial Conference Committee on Defending Services, as well as Harvard University Board Overseer and Counsel of the American Law Institute. She also currently serves on the board of Georgetown Day School and the United States Supreme Court Fellow Commission. From 2010 to 2011, she served on the advisory board of Minstrel Christian School, which was a Baptist school. Jackson has served as a judge in several mock trials with the with Shaker Theater Company and for the Historical Society of District of Columbia mock program. Jackson presided over a mock trial hosted by Dexter University Thomas R. Klein School of Law in 2018 to determine if Vice President Aaron Burr was guilty of murdering Alexander Hamilton. Jackson also presided at the University of Georgetown School of Law 35th edition House Literature. In 2018, Jackson participated as a panelist as the National Constitution Center Town Hall on the legacy of Alexander Hamilton. In 2020, Jackson gave the Martin Luther King Jr. Day Literature at the University of Michigan Law School and was honored at the University of Chicago Law School third annual Judge James B. Parson Legacy Dinner. She was hosted by the school Black Law Students Association. And her personal, here's a little bit about her personal life. In 1996, Brown was married, Sergeant Patrick Graves Jackson, in Boston, who is a descendant of the Continental Congress delegate Jonathan Jackson and is related to U.S. Supreme Court Justice Olivia Walden Holmes Jr. Through her marriage, Jackson is related to former of the House Speaker Paul Ryan. The couple have two daughters, Leah and Talia. Jackson is a non-denominational Protestant. Those are some of the
Thank you.
backgrounds for
Thank you, Reverend Ben
Justice
Fair. That was awesome.
Jackson. Yes.
She has quite a background, quite a background. Mr. James Jerome Bell, would you
Yes, sir.
share some more information with us about the justice?
Well, I just want to say that it's really a tremendous moment in American history for not only Black Americans, but Americans in general, as we move forward in a way that really completes the founding fathers' dream of a land of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And I know that the road may seem uphill, but I believe that this is just an indication of where we're moving forward as a people and also as we move forward as Americans.
Thank you, Mr. James Jerome Bell. Ms. Sharon Penman, are you in the house? Ms. Sharon Penman, are you in the house? All
Yes,
right.
I'm here. I'm here, Mr. Bibb.
Okay, Ms. Sharon Penman, would you share with our audience what this appointment means to women, African-American women in general, moving up through glass ceiling? Sharon Penman, the floor is yours.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Bibb, for having me on today. The appointment of Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson is a huge leap forward for African-American women, as well as not just African-American women, but women in general, but especially for African-American women. It's a dream come true for many, I'm sure, to see the first female African-American woman sitting on the justice. As we all know, Roe versus Wade was just reversed prior to her being sworn in. And I can't help but wonder, had she already been in her seat on the justice, had it taken place if she had already been sworn in? We can look forward, I'm sure, to her evening the field for Americans as well as African-American women moving forward.
Thank you, Ms. Sharon Penman, and we look forward to hearing from you later on in the show.
Yes, sir.
And good job to the committee, and we will move the agenda.
Mr. Bibb, before we move on to the next topic, can we go back to Ms. Sharp? She was having problems unmuting.
We don't have the time. We don't have time.
I'm willing to give up my minute, 1 minute. It
Hello,
wasn't her
this
fault.
is Vivian
She was
Sharp.
having a problem unmuting.
Yes, I'm sorry for the. And Mr. Bibb, would you like me to go ahead with what we planned or not? Okay, can you hear me, everyone? Hello?
I can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay, good. Okay, good. I'll do the commercial, and then I'll do the Miss Brown. Come join all of us on my exclusive Discover Yourself streaming radio app, 24 hours a day, worldwide and global. Market and tell your story worldwide again and again. Go to the appropriate app store, load on the Discover Yourself streaming radio app. Go to the Apple App Store if you have an Apple phone, and go to the Google Play Store if you have an Android. Email address me, sharpparagon@gmail.com. Paragon, Paragon, sharpparagon@gmail. And the telephone number of the office is 216-307-5100. 216-307-5100. Thursday, June the 30th, confirmation was for Miss Ketanji Brown Jackson. She was sworn in to the Supreme Court on Thursday, shattering a glass ceiling as the first Black woman on the nation's highest courts. The 51-year-old Jackson is the court's 116th justice, and she took the place of the justice once she worked for. Justice Stephen Breyer's retirement was effective at noon. Moments later, joined by her family, Miss Jackson, Congress Jackson recited the two oaths required of Supreme Court justices, one administered by Breyer and the other by Chief Justice John Roberts. With a full heart, she accepted the solemn responsibility of supporting and defending the Constitution of the United States and administering justice without fear or favor. So help me, God. Jackson said in a statement issued by the court, I am truly grateful to be part of the promise of our great nation. I extend my sincere thanks to all of my colleagues for their warm and gracious welcome. Continuing on, Roberts welcomed Jackson to the court and our common calling, they said. The ceremony was streamed live on the court's website. All the justices except for Neil Gorosh attended. The swearing in, the court said, there was no immediate explanation for Gorosh's absence.
Thank you,
Jackson
Ms.
is a
Sharp.
federal judge. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you, Ms. Sharp, for your comments and graciously welcome.
And one more
Thank you very
comment that's
much.
very important about Justice Brown. She was originally appointed a judge by President Barack Obama earlier in her career. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, we'll go back in with our program. Ms. Candace Jones, would you come forward and share with our audience about our double hitter?
Okay.
Business double opportunity.
Yes, the business opportunity double hitter. 2 events, 2 weekends coming up. So the double hitters are Go Love Life and Snap Delivered. On Saturday, July the 9th, there'll be presentation and training from 2:30 to 6:30. The location is 17325 Euclid Avenue. That's on the corner of Euclid Avenue and London Road. It'll take place in the 2nd floor conference room. That's the Chandler Building, for those that may know that building. 17325 Euclid Avenue in the conference room on the 2nd floor, 2011. Go Love Life from 3 to 4:30. We'll start off at 3 o'clock with a live Zoom with Robert Dean of Go Love Life. At 4 o'clock, we'll do another live Zoom with Jane Panagas from Detroit, Michigan for Go Love Life training. Then we'll take a short break with some refreshments, free refreshments. And if anyone wishes to sign up for Go Love Life at that time, they can do registration. After that, from 5 p.m. to 6:30 is our second half of the double hitter for this weekend. At 5 p.m., there'll be live training with Garfield Dawes on how to register new customers, drivers, and restaurants with Snap Delivered. There'll be updates on current promotions and new programs that are coming. That's the doubleheader for this coming weekend. Then hold on to your seats because we have another doubleheader coming on the weekend of July 22nd and 23rd. There's another doubleheader starting Friday on the 22nd and going into the 23rd, again with Go Love Life and Snap Delivered. Go Love Life, Robert Dean will be here in Cleveland live, the Cleveland Microbiome Movement. Guest speaker will be Robert Dean, the global expansion leader, multi-million-dollar earner. Robert Dean Jr. will be in Cleveland on July the 23rd, 11 a.m. at 6200 Rockside Road in Independence, suite number 320. Then the second part of that doubleheader, starting that Friday, Snap Delivered will be live from Dallas, Texas. And Snap Delivered took over Vegas in April. Snap Delivered is going to take over Dallas, Texas in July. On July 22nd, there will be a Snap Delivered corporate overview where anyone can learn about SNAP Delivered. There'll just be a business presentation. So anyone new that doesn't know anything about SNAP Delivered, this is a great opportunity for them to see live from the corporate office people in Dallas, Texas, live. So if you can go to Dallas, which I'm sure Mr. Garfield is going, or if you can't go to Dallas, you can stream it also. It is available to stream, which I will be doing that part of stream. Then on Saturday, July 23rd, the second half of the SNAP Delivered will pick up from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the SNAP Disruption University. And it's just be talking about more of the business related and how SNAP is disrupting the delivery business. So that's our two double headers on 2 weekends, July 9th and starting July 22nd and the 23rd. So you don't want to miss those opportunities.
Thank you, Ms. Candace Jones. These double hitters are coming right at the right time because the way things are going up with this $5 plus gas, and every time we go to the store, you got to have more money. So I'm so glad to be a part of the double hitters that give people an option of earning money different ways. You don't want to miss these double hitters. And speaking of double hitters, Ms. Candace Jones, would you introduce Mr. Garfield, please?
Okay, I'd like to introduce Mr. Garfield Dawes, who is an executive director with SNAP Delivered. Executive director is the highest level with SNAP Delivered. He was one of the original ones that opened up the Cleveland area, Ohio, in getting the involvement with SNAP Delivered. So Garfield is going to explain a little bit more about SNAP, and he's going to share a very important video with everyone.
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Candace, for the very highly introduction. SNAP Delivered is a delivery service, but unlike every other delivery service, we have what's called a multi-level marketing aspect attached to that. And what that simply means is everybody get a chance to win. If you get a referral code, then you could share that referral code with every single person that you know. Whenever they place an order, you will get paid. If you refer a driver, every delivery they do, you will get paid. Also, you could refer a restaurant, and every single order come out that restaurants that you referred, you will get paid. There's also a position for you to level up. So you could join absolutely free, but you could also level up to what's called a manager for $2.99 once per year. And everybody that you have do that, you also receive $60 from those persons as well. So SNAP Delivery is actually in the delivery space and not just a delivery service. And what I mean by that is we are going to be adding different services to that delivery service. So as far as different service like delivering medicine from like CVS, Walmart, and so on, delivering clothes from the cleaners, grocery from the grocery store, TV service, which we already have TV service already added to that. It's called Bibb, and just different aspects. So you'll be able to earn money in some different arena in the delivery space. So one of the services that we're going to talk about is if you are a business owner, then you definitely don't want to miss what we are about to show right now, because a lot of business during the coronavirus, I missed out on a lot of money. So we're going to introduce a program to you that some people may know about, but doesn't know how to do it because the application was quite complicated. So, and when President Trump was in, he actually only allowed one program to take place. So when Biden came in, he reintroduced that program. So now even if you did the first PPP program, now you could take advantage of the second one as well. And it's a lot. They have over trillions of dollars sitting in account waiting to give to business owners. So right now we got about 1 minute and 40 seconds and we're going to play this video. If you're a business owner, I'm telling you, you don't want to miss this. So go ahead.
Hello, my name is Garfield Dawes with SNAP Delivered. I've been letting business owners know they may qualify for the Employee Retention Tax Credit Program. The ERC was first introduced in the $2.1 trillion CARES Act back in March 25, 2020. Most business owners don't realize that they could still qualify for these funds. There are several misconceptions about the ERC. Many owners do not think they qualify because they didn't have a revenue decline, did not shut down, did better during COVID, or received PPP loans. While these are factors in the process, these do not disqualify you. These funds do not have to be paid back. This is not a loan and not an earmarked. There are no regulations on how you could use the funds. The ERC funds can be used at the discretion of the business owner. Our team of lawyers and accountants will go thoroughly through your receipts reductions for 2020 and 2021 versus 2019 quarterly. Most business owners don't realize they can qualify for up to $26,000 per employee. Revenue sector showing decline and additional expenses or costs to the business to deal with COVID and so much more to verify your qualifications. Contact us as soon as possible so our team of experts can get started to see if you qualify for the ERC grant. Most companies qualified and they don't even know it. Let us help you. For more information, email at snapgarfield@gmail.com and call or text at 216-703-8050.
All right, so
All right.
we're back. So just to go to close out, if you guys did not receive that email address again, it's snapgarfield@gmail.com. And you could all call or text. The number is 216-703-8050. So if you're a business owner with W-2 employees, 1099 do not count. And if you have over 500 employees, you also will be disqualified as well. So get in touch with us and we could put you in the right place to get all the money back in out of the treasury account into your account.
Two questions, Mr. Garfield.
Sure.
What's the minimum amount of employees you need?
The minimum employees would be 2 employees.
And what's the full name of this?
The full name is called Employee Retention Tax Credit. So we call it ERC for short. And we have, if you need more information, we can also give you the full video and the extent on what you need to get the process started.
All right, thank you, Mr. Garfield.
Absolutely, you're
And,
welcome, Bibb.
We'll be looking forward to see you at the double hitters, giving us 100% of this information.
Yes, sir.
Now we're going to share with our audience something that we had before. In the month of June, we had the Great Merger. And in the Great Merger, the reason we called it the Great Merger, there are 4 big events in June that we're going to repeat in 23. And on the 30th, when we got 2 dips of it, that the Justice Jackson was sworn in on the 30th of June. So now we have all the events in June under one big merger. So would you go ahead? Ms. Vivian Sharp, are you in the house?
Hello.
Ms. Vivian Sharp, are you in the house? Okay. All right.
Yes, I'm here. I'm here, Mr. Bibb. For some reason, I keep getting muted. Okay, we're going to talk about the African American June 2nd, 2009 Appreciation Month, Music Month, given by Barack Obama, President Barack Obama proclamation. The legacy of African American composers, singers, songwriters, and musicians is an indelible piece of our nation's culture. Generations of African Americans have carried forward the musical traditions of their forebears, blending old styles with innovative rhythms and sounds. They have enriched American music and captured the diversity of our nation. During African American Music Appreciation Month, we honor this rich heritage. This legacy tells a story of ingenuity and faith. Amidst the injustice of slavery, African Americans lifted their voices to the heavens through spirituals. This religious music united African Americans and helped sustain them through one of the darkest periods in our nation's history. Years later, spirituals confirmed to the advent of a new form of music, gospel. Both styles incorporated elements of African music and were rooted in faith. And lastly, now therefore, I, Barack Obama, President of the United States of America, by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Constitution and laws of the United States, do hereby proclaim June 2009 as African American Music Appreciation Month. I call upon public officials, educators, and all people of the United States to observe this month appropriately more activities and programs that raise awareness and foster appreciation of music, which is composed, arranged, and performed by African Americans. And now, in witness whereof, I have heretofore set my hand this second day of June in the year of our Lord, 2009. President Barack Obama. Amen.
Thank you, Vivian Louise Shaw. This day forward, every June, we'll have the great merger, and former President Barack Obama proclamation will be the basis of the June African American Music Appreciation Month. Thank you. Ms. Sharon Penman. Sharon Penman. All right.
Yes,
Are you
I'm
ready,
here.
Ms. Joanne Holly?
I'm here, Mr. Bibb.
Share your information with us.
For African American Music Appreciation Month.
Yes.
Okay, yes. African American Appreciation Month, of course, was initially named Black Music Month by then President Jimmy Carter back on June 7th, 1979. But since then, and of course, it was decreed that June would be the month of Black music. Since then, in 2009, the commemoration was given its current name, African American Appreciation Month, by President Barack Obama. In 2016, the proclamation that President Barack Obama made was to have musicians galvanized to help make music or create music, African Americans who helped and created music in America. It's a great honor to have this month dedicated to African American music. We have so much to celebrate in so many different genres, even country music. We have every genre African Americans have tapped into, if not started or created. So there's so much to celebrate in African American music. I don't know if
All right. Thank you, Ms. Penman. And we have a superstar African American, Ms. Joanne Holly. Would you step forward, please?
Yes, sir. Good evening, Mr. Charles E. Bibb Sr.
Thank you.
I want to thank you for letting me share with your audience today my #2 song in the charts, Just Thinking Out Loud. Hey, 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 hey. Just thinking out loud. Hey, 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 hey. Just thinking out loud. Strangest thoughts run through my mind. They come and go most all the time. I may be alone or in a crowd. Excuse me, y'all. Just thinking out loud. Hey. Just thinking out loud. Just thinking out loud. Just we can do. You may be alone or in a crowd. Excuse me, y'all. Just thinking out loud. Hey, just thinking out loud. When you start saying, run through the night. Most of you, I know, it's true. The thing you know. You may be alone or in a crowd. Excuse me, y'all. Just thinking out loud. Hey, just thinking out loud. Thinking out loud. Just thinking out loud. I may be alone or in a crowd. Excuse me, y'all. Just thinking out loud. Hey, just thinking out loud. Just thinking out loud. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Thank you, Mr. Bibb.
All right, and thank you, Miss Joanne Holly, and we look forward to hearing more from you in the near future.
Thank you.
All right, next on our African American Appreciation Month, Reverend Ben Fair.
Yes, sir.
Would you close us out, please?
Yes, sir. Mr. Bibbs, I'm going to read you a very familiar passage of scripture. It's found in the Word of God. It's found in Psalms 100 divisions, and it thus says, make a joyful noise unto the Lord, all ye lands. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before his presence with singing. Know ye that it is God, it is he that has made us, and not we ourselves. It says, we are the sheep of his, we are his peoples, and the sheep of his pastures. Enter into his gates with thanksgiving, and into his courts with praise, and be thankful unto him, and bless his name. For the Lord is good, his mercy is everlasting, his truth endureth to all generations. May God add a blessing to the hearers and the doers of his word. Now, I'm just going to sing a little portion of People Get Ready, Mr. Bibbs, just a little small portion of it. If you could cue me up with that right quick.
All right.
All
Thank
right.
you, Reverend Fair.
Yes, sir.
Well, little people get ready.
Yeah, just a little bit, just a touch. We'll do a little bit more next week.
All right.
People get ready, for the train is coming. Don't need no baggage. You just get on board. All you need is faith to hear the diesel humming. Don't need no ticket. You just thank the Lord.
And thank you, Reverend Ben Fair, and thank the Lord for us getting on board.
Yes, sir.
And that is our amazing Juneteenth, from one end of the music to the other, all originating with African Americans in the
Yes, sir.
United States of America. All right. Now, we have a big surprise for you. Juneteenth is in June also. Brother Bill, But I got a big surprise. A young lady's coming off of vacation to share with us what she found when she went to Pittsburgh, what's going on in Pittsburgh with Juneteenth. It's Miss Tammy Kennedy in the house. Miss Tammy Kennedy,
Yes, I'm here, Mr. Bibb.
would you share with our audience what you found in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania with that fine African-American mayor they have over there in Pittsburgh?
Oh, well, Pittsburgh is doing it real big, as far as Juneteenth. Well, actually, they're doing a lot real big. They have the Black Music Month going on. They have Three Rivers Festival going on. Then they have the Juneteenth going on. There's just a lot going on in Pittsburgh. It's only 2 hours away. So I was up there. And, I was just kind of surprised that Cleveland, we had like one day or, people were doing different things. But in Pittsburgh, they were very coordinated. They've been advertising for several months. I knew what was happening about in April. So, and I was just surprised that I didn't know what was happening in Cleveland. I live in Cleveland. I didn't even know what was happening in Cleveland until a couple of days before Juneteenth, and I just felt that Cleveland should have had some more planning and coordinating as far as Juneteenth. So hopefully that'll happen next year, Mr. Bibb, with all the different entertainers and different speakers and, just things going on all over the place.
Miss Kennedy, we had a little problem with one word you used. You can't hope it's going to happen. Are you going to work on it for next year with us?
Well, I can do that. I heard you say something. I wasn't here. I was in Pittsburgh, but I know you did a Juneteenth at the East Cleveland Public Library. And then I heard you mention that East Cleveland Public Library or the city of East Cleveland wants to do a really, really nice.
Let me ask that question again. Are you going to work with us next year? Because we're going to do a big one next year.
Of course, I will work with you, Mr.
All right,
Bibb.
that's what I wanted to hear. All right, thank you,
Of
Miss
course.
Kennedy. Because we got to
You're
have our
welcome.
homegrown star working with us. Because she seen it happen in Pittsburgh. Mr. James
That's right.
Jerome
Yes,
Bell,
it
would you
is.
close us out, please, on this portion?
Yes, I just wanted to say that it's just so very wonderful to have African American Appreciation Month, Juneteenth, and even Justice Jackson being appointed to the Supreme Court, all happening in this glorious June 2022, along with your birthday. So it's truly, truly been a remarkable time for people of color in the United States of America. And I hopefully hope that, the God of all mercy will continue to bless his people.
Mr. James Jerome Bell, listen to me carefully. Ms. Sharp read it and Mr. Bell read it. It's African American, not people of color.
African American.
Can you read that? Make sure you got the right proclamation.
Okay.
Nobody did one for people of color. Who did they do it for, Mr. James Jerome Bell?
African Americans.
All right, thank you. All right, Miss Candace, we're gonna close this out, but I won't close out. We're gonna come back and do the House Bill 40, but I have a time problem now, and Ms. Candace Jones, tell the audience why we put all this with 4th of July.
Okay, so the 4th of July, that some people know it as the 4th of July, July 4th, Independence Day, is known as Independence Day and has been a federal holiday in the United States since 1941, but the tradition of Independence Day celebrations go back to the 18th century and the American Revolution. The adoption of the Declaration of Independence on July 4th, 1776 by delegates from 13 colonies. On the 4th, Continental Congress approved the final wording of the Declaration of Independence. It took a couple days for them to get that finalized, started on the 2nd, but finished up on the 4th, and that's when it was signed and the birth of the United States took place. So Congress voted in favor of the independence from Great Britain on July 2nd, but it did not actually complete the process revising the Declaration of Independence originally drafted by Thomas Jefferson in consultation with fellow committee members, John Adams, Benjamin Franklin, Roger Sherman, and William Livingston. So 2 days later, the actual final wording was signed on July 4th, 1776.
Mhm.
Ms. Candace Jones,
Yes.
was the slaves freed then?
No, the slaves were not
Tell
freed.
the audience that.
The slaves were in 1776, when Independence Day was first started, the slaves were not freed until almost 100 years later. 1865 is when the slaves were freed.
All right. And then, Mr. James Jerome Bell,
Yes, sir.
when did we sign the papers for Joe Biden signed his papers for Juneteenth?
That was in 2021.
Who signed them?
Joe Biden Jr.
Who is he?
President
All right.
Joe Biden Jr.
2021.
Yes.
So to sum it up, Reverend Ben Fair,
Yes, sir.
we all free now.
We're all free now, Mr. Bibb.
Let's hear it one time. We
all
all
free
free
now.
now.
We're all free now.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. James Paddock is in the house from Detroit, Michigan. James Paddock is not in the house from Detroit, Michigan. We're going right to House Bill 40, and we're going to discuss House Bill 40. A group ready? Ms. Candace, House Bill 40. Let's go along. Who's here first in House Bill 40?
Tammy Kennedy. Tammy online?
Yes. Yes, I'm here, Candace.
Give us the information you have about House Bill 40, please.
Well, there was a town hall about, I don't know, it was before Juneteenth, and I watched the town hall on Facebook, and it was with Congresswoman Sheila Lee, a lot of the preeminent Black scholars, Dr. Ron Daniels, there was Reverend Al Sharpton, I mean, many of the activists, and they were talking about reparations. And so they were expecting something to happen on Juneteenth or around Juneteenth. I haven't heard anything. So I don't have anything further than what I reported last time, which was about the town hall meeting that took place with Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. And this is about getting I don't know if it's more so a commission or at least passing some type of bill to move forward with studying for reparations for African Americans.
Okay. Would you add to that, Mr. James Bill, James Jerome Bill, what you found out was going on in California?
Well, what's happening in California, some Black people back in the 1920s owned some beachfront property, some beautiful beachfront property. And the city and the state eminent domained it. And it was just recently given back to the family. And they also get up to over $400,000 a year for reparations.
Do you have any idea how much money they're paying them a year now?
I believe it's $419,000 a year.
Right. Thank you very kindly, Mr. James Jerome Bell. Ms. Shan Penman, do you have anything to add to the House Bill 40?
Yes, I would like, again, I'll give a little history on the bill. Mr. Bibb, the Commission of the Study and Development of Reparation Proposals for African Americans Act is an act of Congress in the United States. It was actually introduced in 1989 by Representative John Conyers. And that act aims to create a commission to examine the merits of introducing reparations to African Americans for US slavery. Another important fact that I found in my research is that the number 40 for House Bill 40 represents the unfulfilled promise that the United States made to freed slaves, that after the Civil War, they would get 40 acres and a mule. So that's where the 40 represents in that title, House Bill 40. Another thing that I would like to add is that Representative Conyers, he pushed that bill every year until the year he died in October of 2019. He sponsored that act each and every legislation session from 1989 until 2017. So it's nothing that I think is going to go away. It's something that I believe that those representatives are definitely going to continue to push forward and see about getting some reparations for African Americans in this country. We definitely need to step forward and make a move to speak to our own representative here in Ohio, I feel, to get a motion moving here.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Shan Pittman.
And one other thing, if I might add, Mr. Bibb, is that in April of 2021, the bill cleared a committee for the first time in its history, making it to the House floor for markups and a vote. That's an important fact.
All right, thank you. Okay. Ms. Kenneth Jones, is Reverend Dr. Patrick Renner with us?
Yes, he is.
Yes, yes. Greetings,
All right.
greetings,
Greetings.
greetings and
I
salutations.
understand you're a little under the weather.
Yes,
I'm glad
I,
you're able to make the Zoom.
yes, thank you.
And I want you to share with us just what you're working on and bring it forward so the audience will know what area you're working in.
I am delighted, and I just want to say, in the name of the Most High God, this is one of the most important gifts that He has been able to bless us with since we've been freed from slavery. Slavery was an act of forced human trafficking upon the African slaves, forced to come into a country that they had no cultural connection to or racial identity in. However, we came here, made it the best land in the world, and they took everything that we built and used it to capitalize on and not believe that they're going to share with us. We are in blessed opportunity with the reparation. Now, they just had a bill that they created in Evanston, Illinois, and it was the first act of reparation. It was interesting too, because Mayor Daley, one of the first mayors, he introduced it. He was one of the mayors that believed in housing redlining. He was the first mayor, not the son, but the father. He had it where Chicago believed that Black people shouldn't have good housing, so they went to the banks, and he introduced this redlining. However, Evanston, Illinois was a suburb of California, but Evanston created the first reparation bill. They have a program that is called the Ancestral Applicant, where they are now making it where you can get $25,000 in a house mortgage or a house grant, or a house roofing repair. But now keep in mind, a grant, you're talking about a grant or reparation. Reparation is something you're going to get received with no strings attached. But this is a demonstration like what they're doing in California, like they're doing in Minnesota. 11 cities are already doing this, but Evanston, Illinois is calling it a reparation. And the people are actually utilizing. They got a list, and a lot of people call it some form of Section 8, but they call it reparation. we must be steadfast and committed to this opportunity. It is going to actualize. And Brother Bill and Candace and the people of the listening audience, we must thank God for this opportunity that Brother Bill has provided us, and pray and hope that everybody believes that it is here. Thank you so much.
Okay, Reverend Doctor, what is the next step in the project that you're working on?
My next step is to work with you to see that you and I can actualize some real things that we believe that our general location, reparations is a geographical process. And what I learned going back into the Cleveland papers, they had no concept of development for African American people. They had no inclusion for cultural diversity, housing. They cast us in one section of Cleveland, Ohio, and everything just thrived around it. And then when Carl Stokes became the mayor, they tried to mitigate us in certain areas of the city, but it was already redlined. So if
What
we
year
have
was
to look at,
that, Reverend Doctor?
that was back in the now I'm talking about Carl Stokes, that's when he became the first mayor. But we go back to 1898 to 1920. That is when the hardest part of the Black community came here from the.
They're giving me the signals that we're running out of town.
Well, we got time. God has blessed us with the right. Yes. I hear you, Brother Bill.
They're giving me the signal that we're running out of time on the podcast. So let me let you know just where we are.
Yes, sir.
We will be, on this podcast, we'll be working through each state.
Yes.
Through that General Assembly.
Yes. Yes.
And through the National Congress, through Congresswoman Sheila Lee Jackson.
Yes.
So if you identify the state that you're working with, that's for Tammy Kennedy, James Jerome Bell, Ms. Shan Penman, and you, Reverend Dr. Reynolds, I expect a report from you in writing where you're working for next week. If you can't have it, let Ms. Candace know by Tuesday so we can take you off the schedule. But from this day forward, all reports have to be in writing. Everyone clear?
Yes. Well, I'm going to be, you know,
hold it now. We're working through general assemblies in states, and at the national level, we're working through Congress, through this podcast. Okay? Now you can say what you want to say now.
Okay, thank you. I clearly understand that would be the best way to move in the direction of success with this, but we can also do it. I have to have I'm on a 4-week doctor's, I told Candace, she'll tell you about it. And I can't be out for 4 weeks, but I will be able to talk with Candace and we can get things to the other people. But also, I like what Ms. Penn, I think Ms. Penn made a statement about House Bill 40. What House Bill 40 brings to the table is, since when John Conyers died, Representative Lee picked it up. That is a governmental opportunity for that commission to become another arm of the government. He wants to spend $12 million to create another branch of the government to do research and outreach into how we can best spend out reparation dollars. I'm not concerned with that. Reparations should be looked at as we look at the Black diaspora, all the players who played a role in human trafficking. And
okay, I'm down to my last minute, Reverend Doctor.
Yes.
But I want to remind you that Ms. Candace Jones is not on this committee. She won't be working on this.
Well, I got to go now.
My
love
time has
you.
run out. Ms.
I love
Jones
you.
is not on this committee. Everybody's on the committee. Read your traffic. Any of those you can get in touch with that's on the committee. You have a copy of the traffic, right? All right, thank you.
That's it?
Yeah. Very good.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, very good.
We off the air now, right?